We are gathered here today to remember the life and times of one Philip Paul Burnell, survived barely by his mom and wife Catherine, who unfortunately couldn't make it here today, as the roof was unable to be removed and the 2 cranes required to lift her out of the mature adult house weren't able to be requisitioned on such short notice. He is also survived by his 2 sons, Jasper, otherwise known as 2KJ, and there's a name here, scribbled in very jerky handwriting. Let me see. Oh, okay, I got it. His other son, Derek. Sadly, he too could not attend. I heard school bells ringing, and he took off like a bat out of hell. That was weird. I see that we don't have too many people here, which is, I understand. It's not every day that someone gets accidentally covered in pitch and set ablaze maliciously. But we do have someone who wanted to come up and say a few words about Phil, so please welcome Mr. Thev Ois.
Wow. Never thought I'd see this day. At least, not like this. Not so soon. We have all experienced a deep loss on this day, the 13th of March, 2025. Finally earned his crispy at the ripe young age of 42. Does anyone else smell bacon? Is it just me? But he has finally given up the ghost, snorted his last snort, shaken his final tin cup. He has ceased to clog YouTube with slop. It seems like it was just yesterday that he was telling everyone how he was capable of destroying trolls' lives by causing endless drama, and that the hardest road to hoe is to essentially lie and beg for an uncertain future. And yet, here we are, after his own personal Kahlua, celebrating a most unremarkable man, having led a most unremarkable life. I first became aware of Phil back when he walked through the doors at Helicopter Support. I had just finished my contract of menu prompt reading, and I distinctly remember a meaty double-barrel snort. His dad said to Janet, "Yeah, that's my son. I got him a job here. Hey, does your husband fish?" As I walked out, what a guy. I later found myself in Seattle, plying my trade doing ad reads for the AA baseball affiliate's radio station. While at a local grocery store, I heard an unmistakable sound, that beefy double-barrel snort. No fucking way, I thought. But it was the guy, walking on his toes just like I remember him. What a card. He had his daughter with him, too. I wonder if she's just estranged or something, and that's why she wasn't mentioned earlier. He sure seemed happier then. Throughout all of our lives, we will face trials and tribulations. Phil, on the other hand, face-tanked hardships that would take down an entire platoon of lesser men. His perseverance is a most admirable trait, one we could all stand to learn from. He face-tanked life-threatening challenges like post-nasal drip, my move didn't come out, inability to use rations, chronic ear infections, slander, that one medical condition he got from his aunt that causes acid to build up, mean things said about his mom-wife, that one time it got cold in the house, so he wore a long-sleeve shirt inside, gorilla shit mailed to him, DoorDash delivered to the wrong house, ooze on the hands, rollback netcode, and, most recently, cameras shutting themselves off. With this level of adversity, I think we can all agree this specimen truly pushed through very little. Though penuriousness will be his overall legacy, and his true legacy will be him sacrificing some semen to the god of lonely nights live on stream, Phil will have wanted to be known as the Joe Average Gamer, capable of picking up a controller and playing any game at a professional level. Such a high level that it wrapped around to the negatives, requiring his hand to be held through children's games by shoe-size IQ chatters when their disability checks rolled in. It helped to build up their self-esteem, knowing that they assisted one of their own. Gooble gobble. Phil always had fun with games, except for when he wasn't making money. So, I guess he didn't really have a lot of fun. Wait, did this guy really like video games, I wonder? Strong, determined, diligent, industrious, disciplined, assiduous. All words used to describe a hard worker. Notice I said hard worker and not Phil. There's a reason, and I think we all know why. Never before have I encountered a person so dedicated to doing everything within his limited power to do so goddamn little. If Phil invested half as much time and effort into making his content better, as opposed to how to make his content be as fucking boring as humanly possible, I guess that's asking a bit too much. I will always remember that Phil was an avid collector of things. He liked showing off his vast collection of video game statues, Blu-rays, and other knickknacks. He would sometimes go through his closet and share the things that he didn't remember collecting or keeping, like lanyards from tournaments that he no doubt got his ass whooped at. He also told stories of how sad he was when he had to part ways with the leaning tower of DoorDash boxes he and Catherine collected in the garage. Those were sad days. The one collection he was most proud of, though, is that of WWE champions and the brawny, bulky, buttery bitmaps contained within. I secretly have my fingers crossed that I'm the one he put down in his will to inherit the collection, to see if there really is that fabled 5-star Hogan buried in that pixelated treasure trove. Phil was always a kind man. You know, when he wasn't banning someone, or calling someone an asshole, or a mouth drooler, or getting on a soapbox and ranting about mentally stunted dunces, or how he's the center of the universe, or how Twitch is ran by idiots, or how YouTube is ran by morons.
Approximately 10 hours later.
Other than those few things, Phil was very kind. A man of little integrity and even fewer morals, Phil exemplified the perfect cross between sleazy televangelist and a stockbroker. Talks in circles about nothing, and then says, "Give me your money." Gotta appreciate the hustle, I guess. And he stuck to his guns. He stuck to his guns to the bitter end. And all it took was him using his gelatinous wife as a human force field against the Stay-Puffed Marshmallow Canuck to bring an end to his shenanigans. Phil bet on himself at the casino, and you never bet against the house. The house always wins. He died as he lived, begging. Goodbye, Phil. We won't really miss you. We still have wings to make fun of.